And welcome back. Here's your latest California housing market update. So get this, in August, 83% of counties in California experienced a decrease in closed home sales from a year ago, with the majority of those down by more than 10% and approximately 38% down by more than 20%. However, home prices continue to stabilize across the state as only 19 counties recorded a decrease year over year, compared to 27 in July and 37 in June. In today's video, I'm going to provide an update regarding what we're seeing right now in the California housing market at a regional level and also at a county-wide level as well. So, of course, I have a lot to share in today's video. Let's go ahead and dive right in. I first want to share some slides from the California Association of Realtors. This report was announced earlier this week, but I didn't make a video regarding what we're seeing right now at the county-wide level. If you guys missed my first video, I went into great detail regarding sales and home prices at the statewide level. If you guys missed that video, I'll leave a link below for you guys because I provided a very in-depth analysis regarding home sold prices. So overall, here's a snapshot about what happened in August compared to August of 2022. So closed home sales are down by 29.2% year to date and also down by 18.9% year over year. This is based on seasonally adjusted and also annualized numbers here, down by 19% this August. Home prices, or I should say the median sold price, is about $860,000. That's up by 3% from 12 months ago. The unsold inventory index, or the month supply, is at 2.4 months, down by 14% from a year ago. And days in the market, the time frame when a home seller lists their house for sale until they accept an offer, or until they accept an offer from a home buyer, that's 18 days on average, but that's down by 21% or 22% from 12 months ago. So that's what's happening right now at the statewide level. Let's have a look at each of the major regions here. So in SoCal, existing home sales down by 14% from 12 months ago, and the median sold price $830,000, up by 4.4%. The unsold inventory index is at 2.3 months. Days in the market is at 18 days, roughly on par where the statewide average is as well, 2.4 in 18 days. So very, very close here. Also, the sale price to final list price ratio in SoCal was 100.0%, which means for the month of August, out of all the houses that closed, the home seller sold their house for their final list price on average. In regards to the Central Coast, a decrease of 17.9% for existing home sales. And by the way, today's video, I'm only looking at existing single family houses and also detached. So this excludes new home construction, townhomes and condos. And of course, it excludes multifamily as well. So overall for the state, down by about 19%, whereas in Central Coast, down by 17.9%. Prices are flat at $950,000 right now. Days in the market and also the month supply, as well as the sale price to final list price ratio, on par with other regions here. In the Central Valley, sales are down by 19%, but we're still up by 3.2% from August of 2022 for home prices. Month supply, all this is all on par with the statewide averages here. In the Bay Area, a little bit different here. Sales down by 18.3% and prices are up by 5%. Look at that. Overall, in the Bay Area, the median sold price this August, just under $1.3 million compared to the Central Valley at $485,000. You definitely pay to live in the Bay Area. The unsold inventory index and also days in the market tends to be a little bit faster compared to other regions. And also, this is normal as well, where houses on average are selling for over the seller's final list price. To be exact, for the month of August, they're selling for 1.8% over. In contrast, in the far north, sales are down by 16% and prices are down by 2.4%. The month supply, days in the market, and also this ratio tends to be a little bit softer compared to other regions. As you can see right here, days in the market at 27 days compared to the statewide average at 18 days. All right, let's have a look at closed home sales for each of the major regions here. This is something I found to be interesting here. In SoCal, out of all closed home sales for the month of August, 44% came from SoCal versus 22% in the Central Valley and 20% in the Bay Area. Here's a look at home sales compared to 1 year ago, as well as compared to July this year, the percent change. So when looking at sales compared to August of 2022, each of these regions was down by more than 9%. In fact, the biggest decrease was actually in the Central Valley, down by 19%. In contrast, home sales increase on a month-to-month basis in all these regions here as well. The biggest gain was a 7.9% increase in SoCal compared to July. In regards to contracts being signed, again, for single-family detached houses and also existing houses as well, and not new houses, pending home sales fell big time in August, down by 23.2%. This is a bigger decrease compared to the nation as a whole. According to the National Association of Realtors pending home sale index, I believe that was down by about 19% year over year, whereas in California, we're down by 23.2%. This is after a sharp increase in pendings ever since the last half last year, but now it's pulling back sharply due to the giant increase in mortgage rates. In regards to home prices, overall, we're at $859,000 for the state, up compared to last month and also up compared to 1 year ago as well. I won't go over this because I went over this in great detail in my previous video. And again, if you guys missed that, I'll leave a link below for you guys. Here's also a look at the percent of houses that sold over the seller's final list price. The number of counties here is very, very small, especially when comparing to the spring months of 2022, where virtually every county was selling over the seller's asking price more often than not. So the only counties that are selling more often than not above the seller's list price was Alameda, Santa Clara, Yuba, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Mateo. It also looks like Ventura is slightly above 50% as well, but the vast majority of counties in California are selling for below the seller's final list price. And by the way, if you guys are curious about Sacramento, where I live and work as a real estate agent here, a lot of people watch my videos for Sacramento here. In Sacramento, that ratio was around 50%, which means on average, 50% of the time, houses are selling over the seller's asking price, and 50% are selling below the seller's final list price. Just to give you some example regarding some boots on the ground here, we just got an offer accepted for a client for $100,000 less than the seller's list price after only being on the market for about 2 weeks. So the market right now is becoming a little bit easier for buyers in regards to less competition compared to a year or two ago when the market was just absolutely insane. But of course, there's a lot of challenges, of course, due to high rates, of course, right? And speaking of that, this wasn't even planned, but the giant increase in rates. I mean, look at the rate back in August. I believe this is the monthly rate according to Freddie Mac, 7.07%. 1 year ago in August 2022, we're only at 5.22%. So a giant surge in rates, which is really pulling back demand right now, and also increasing average monthly housing payments as well. Look at this. Prices have only increased by 3% overall in the state compared to 12 months ago, whereas your average monthly housing payment surged by 25%. That's due to rates increasing from 5.2 to about 7.1%. It's absolutely insane. In regards to inventory levels, I want to share this because inventory is down by nearly 28% from August of 2022, which is night and day difference compared to what happened last year and also in the first couple of months this year. We saw a giant surge of inventory compared to the year prior to that. So part of the reason why we're seeing a decrease compared to last year is because last year we saw inventory spiking big time. Therefore, it makes sense that we're not seeing another surge of inventory because we saw a giant increase in 2022. And I want to share this with you guys as well, because this is according to altosresearch.com for California in regards to inventory levels. So take a look what's happening right now. So right now, inventory is still going up. Let me just zoom in so you guys can see here. So inventory is still increasing right now. And this is actually through the 7 days ended September 22nd. So inventory overall in California is still increasing. What we did not see last year, though, is that inventory just absolutely, skyrocketed until it hit really August. This year, inventory did not increase like it did last year, but what is different compared to this year compared to last year is that this time last year, inventory levels was more or less plateauing, whereas this year, inventory is still going up, which is highly unusual. So for example, back in 2019, inventory levels peaked in July and then fell for the remainder of the year. This year, inventory is still going up. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted, because if inventory continues increasing, of course, that could put downward pressure on prices in the months ahead. But I will say, though, is that we're not seeing a surge of new supply or new listings in the market, which of course would be a recipe for disaster, but we are not seeing that. In fact, new listings are down by 17.5%. That marked the 14th consecutive month of decreases on a year-over-year basis. And also we're well below pre-pandemic levels as well. Again, I went over that in a separate video. So let's just move on here. This is a look at housing inventory year over year. You can see the big decreases for each of these regions here, especially in SoCal and in the Central Valley, whereas in the Central Coast and also in the far north, relatively flat year over year. And here's a look at the percent change here. So in the San Francisco Bay Area, inventory is down by 23.5% year over year, whereas in the Central Valley, we're down a whopping 32%, and SoCal down by 35.6%. Central Coast is only down by 10%, and the far north is only down by 1%. But each of these major regions is down on a year-over-year basis, and also sales are down by more than 13% as well. And sales, by the way, are the orange bars there as well. The California Association of Realtors also announced here that housing supply or housing inventory decreased in more than half of the state. That's these red bars right here, decreases compared to 1 year ago. The biggest decrease actually, wow, that's interesting, in Alameda. So Alameda is just east of San Francisco in the East Bay. So it's still in the Bay Area, but just east of San Francisco. Inventory there is down by 54%. After that was Mono, Contra Costa County, Sutter, Kern, and also in Sacramento, down by about 40%. In stark contrast, though, look at Mariposa, a giant gain of 71.4%, and Del Norte is up by 60%. After that, though, we only had a couple counties here, or a few, which was Siskiyou, Glen, and Napa, up by about 20%. But for all the counties that were experiencing a gain in the range of 1 to about 20%. But again, the vast majority of the counties in California have experienced a decrease year over year. Okay, let's have a look at each of the counties as well to see how the changes in prices and home sales fare, because there's some very, very big differences here. So overall for the state, again, only for single family houses, we're at $860,000. 1 year ago, approximately $835,000, a gain of 3%, whereas sales decrease from last month and also from 12 months ago. For each of the major regions here, the only region that recorded a decrease year over year for prices was in the far north. It was flat in the Central Coast, whereas in the San Francisco Bay Area, they saw a gain of 5%. But for each of these regions here, down in home sales from 12 months ago. So let's take a deep dive into each of these major regions here. So let's have a look at the San Francisco Bay Area in regards to prices here. Marin County, I don't know what's going on in Marin. If you guys are an agent there, or if you guys are shopping for a house there, let me know in the comments below, because home sold prices fell by nearly 12% going from about 1.675 to just under $1.5 million. And sales are tanking, down by 36%. Wow, that's wild. Alameda County as well is down by 21%, yet prices are relatively stable at 2.5% gain. Napa, prices down by 8.3. Santa Clara, look at that. Huge gain of 12.3%, going from 1.65 million to just under 1.9 million for the median sold price this August. And sales are down by 13%. Let's also have a look at SoCal. Look at this. So in Riverside, down by 0.3% in prices, whereas San Diego, what is going on with San Diego? A giant increase of 12.8%. Wow. And also month over month up by 3.2, going from 886,000 to a $1 million median sold price there. Giant gain there. That's interesting. A beautiful place to live. I actually used to live in Del Mar for a summer. That was awesome. Beautiful place. In Monterey, prices are up by 6.5%, whereas San Luis Obispo, prices are flat. Santa Barbara, I really don't follow this county because these stats vary greatly on a month-over-month basis here. Santa Cruz is down by 7.7%. But as you can see here, sales are down on a year-over-year basis for most of these counties here, over 80% of the counties. Fresno squeaked out a gain of 4.9%. Kings County, Madera have big variances on a month-over-month basis, so I really don't put a whole lot of weight into that. Placer County, which includes Roseville and Rockland, just outside of Sacramento, but it goes all the way until North Lake Tahoe. We saw a gain of 3.1% in prices there on a year-over-year basis. Sacramento prices are flat, but they're all down by 2.2% from last month. So right now, the median sold price in Sacramento County is at $535,000, exactly the same compared to 12 months ago. Also in Sacramento, sales are down by 19% on a year-over-year basis, but we did see a gain of 7.7% compared to July. In the far north, a lot of these counties vary quite a bit. I mean, Plumas County, I saw a gain of 8.4% for prices there. That was one of these counties that absolutely surged during the onset of COVID, but they're seeing this kind of like a pullback as of late, even though they're up by 8.4% year over year right now. Other counties to note here, Amador County up by 8.9%. But again, sales are down for the most part, except for El Dorado. Sales are up by 8.9%, yet prices increased by 4.8%. But sales, look at that. Sales surged, correct term there, month over month, up by 30%. That's interesting. Where we have here, Nevada County, a slight decrease in prices there. Sutter County, also a slight decrease as well. Yolo County, which includes West Sacramento, prices there down by 1.3%, but a huge decrease in sales, down by nearly 23%. Yuba County, just north of Sacramento, saw a gain of 5.8% in prices there, but home sales tanked by nearly 29%. So please leave me a comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you guys got any value out of this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Of course, consider subscribing as well. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and we'll see you on the next one.